With the rest of the planet, Europe is bracing for the impact of climate change. Some areas are facing diverse risks, ranging from droughts to floods. But how well do we understand what to expect and how to respond?
Rains that turn this dry riverbed into a river are becoming less frequent and more intense. This accelerates soil erosion, bringing more sediment. A check dam was built in the area to slow the river down so that the water could soak into the ground, but the growing sediment is a hindrance.
The people who are living here, they rely on groundwater, both for domestic supply, household use, and for irrigation. So with climate change, we will get less and less water flowing here. So we want to understand how much water can be stored here.
The concern is that, in this semi-arid country, more and more water will evaporate before reaching underground aquifers. Researchers take regular soil samples to learn how quickly or how slowly the river water can pass through this growing layer of dense sediment.
Inside this cylinder, we have a known quantity of soil. We will completely dry this sample, weigh it, and thus determine the density of the soil.
To get a better idea of water circulation, researchers take other measurements too. At this forest station, they study the effect had by trees. The canopy traps some rainwater, causing it to evaporate before reaching the ground, while the root system pumps underground water upwards for the tree to grow in a process known as transpiration.
This sensor has 3 prongs, which allow it to estimate the velocity of water passing through the trunks. That will indicate how much groundwater the trees absorb.
The Cyprus study helps local agriculture to adapt to the changes in water availability, for example by suggesting more water-efficient crops. That's just one angle of this large European research project studying climate-related water issues. In this region of Germany, 1 million inhabitants depend on a system of water reservoirs, which needs to remain balanced. Stronger summer rains increase the risk of flash floods. Researchers use meteorological data with their measurements of water flows on the surface and within the soil to better understand changes in the water cycle.
What we're already experiencing is a shift in rainfall. Now, sometimes we have less rain in the wintertime. Normally, winter floods arrive in January or February. Now, sometimes they come later, in March, for instance, and there are more concentrated flash floods in the summer. That means that the water is not there at the right time when we need it, so either there's not enough drinking water or there's too much water when there's a flood.
The project, studying test sites in 6 countries, aims to come up with a detailed 10-year forecast of climate change effects in Europe, including the impact on agriculture, industry, tourism and other sectors. This research will help us anticipate the influence of climate change on our environment, whether that concerns flooding zones or drought-prone areas, and to respond accordingly, with appropriate infrastructure solutions and with necessary changes in people's environmental behaviour.